My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, today we celebrate the feast of Saint Alphonsa of the Immaculate Conception, commonly known as Alphonsama or Saint Alphonsa. She was an Indian Catholic religious sister and also a teacher and educator, belonged to the Franciscan Clarist congregation. And that congregation today has almost 7,000 sisters serving God and serving his people worldwide. Saint Alphonsa was the first Indian woman to be canonized and also the first saint of the Syro Malabar Catholic Church. Alphonsa was born in 1910 to a noble family. Unfortunately, 3 months after her birth, her mother passed away and she happened to be raised by her aunt. Two important events in her life as a little girl was the reception of her first Holy Communion and also the vision of Saint Teresa of Lisieux. Those two events were so critical in her life, especially in her journey of becoming a religious sister and also to be a saint, overcoming many obstacles and plans and dreams of her family. She embraced God's plan and dream for her life at the age of 18 when she entered the Franciscan Clarist congregation on the feast of Saint Alphonse Liguori and took the name Alphonsa of the Immaculate Conception. For the next 5 years, she would endure or go through great physical and emotional and spiritual suffering, and she died at the age of 35, just 35 years of life. Now, within that short period of time, she left behind so many wonderful lessons that we can learn from her life. We can look up to her and want to be like. What are those lessons? Lesson number one: she did not listen to this world, its temptations, or even the dreams and plans of her family. Rather, she collaborated with God in the process of becoming the best version of herself. That is our challenge too, every single day. Not listening to this world, its temptations, or even the dreams and plans of our family and friends, but to collaborate with God in a single minded way in the process of becoming the best version of ourselves. Becoming the best version of ourselves. Lesson number two: she found a second vocation within her vocation. Yes, she did find a second vocation within her vocation. Of course, her primary vocation was to be a religious sister, but she found a new vocation within that vocation, that is being a victim soul. That means embracing white martyrdom. With her physical and emotional battle, Jesus gave her that supreme mission to be a victim soul for Him. That means loving the Lord above all things and uniting her physical, emotional, and spiritual suffering with the suffering of Christ on the cross in reparation for her sins and the sins of the world. Our challenge today is to find our second vocation within our primary vocation. We may be a priest, a religious sister, a professor, an educator, or a medical professional. Doesn't matter our primary vocation. We have a secondary vocation, of course, that is being a saint after the model and example of Jesus himself. So think about your secondary vocation today. Lesson number three. You may remember learning the old catechism in which there was a beautiful question being asked, why did the good Lord create you? And the answer was, God created me to know Him, to love Him, serve Him in this world, and to be with Him forever in heaven. Saint Alphonsa, in her short life, 35 years of her life, she loved the Lord above all things, and she faithfully completed the mission entrusted to her care. She has gone to be with the Lord today after completing her mission in this world. Her whole life was just simple as that. In other words, she always kept the main thing